Hello everybody, welcome to another ride with the Everyday Zwifter. Today we're doing the ZHQ Future Work Circuit Race, 2 laps around the Champs-Élysées, and it's going to be a good one. Going to have a closer look at the Future Works part of that and anti-sandbagging measures that are put in place to combat people who apparently should be in a higher grade. Got about 32 people on the line to start the race so far. Cat C, as I said. Let's go. Got the usual spread of power though, most people seem to be on it today. I'm caught in the middle in my fluoro jersey, just put a bit of extra watts to make sure I get in the front group and don't miss any splits. Put in a little too much and gone a little bit to the front, but that's okay. Off down the cobbles for the first time for the lead-in, which is about 3.1, 3.2 kilometres. One of the longer lead-ins going around in Zwift. Don't be tempted to use it as a warm-up though, because as you start off, it's just flat out from the start. And actually, this race I have tried a new warm-up. I've googled and found the British cycling warm-up routine. And the key with that one was let the revs low power. So do stints of 90 RPM, 100 RPM. So I didn't go all the way through the program, which takes about 20 minutes, but I did about 10 minutes of it and just did some high RPM work at low power, easy gearing. And I think it really helped me get the legs going, get the heart rate, but then didn't suck a lot of energy, so that was interesting. Oh, the pack settled down already. Cruising along at a comfortable average around 2.7 watt a kilogram, I think. Decent sized group. As I drop to the back, looks like there's about 24 of us, 25 of us. And interestingly, only 2 Trons I think I can see in that shot. One on the left, one on the right. But I think there's plenty more experience in the group. So people are starting to choose other bikes. Speaking of bikes, I just found out yesterday that the Velo that I'm riding, the S5 2020, has had a group set upgrade, but it's not much of an upgrade because it's added weight to it and it's slowed it down. So now it's among the top performers still, but it's not the top performer. There's not much in it though, but the Specialized Venge is on top again. Interestingly, I noticed that the Canyon Air Road also had a group set upgrade, which also made it heavier, and it's quite a bit slower. So where it once was quite a good all-rounder, not so much anymore. The S5 2020 is that bike now. If you get to level 33 though, I think the Scott Attic is the even better. Scott Attic is quite a good climber. Getting through our lead in now, still riding at quite a comfortable pace. No one's really pushing the 3 watt a kilo envelope. Heart rate's just sitting around the 151 mark, 152, which is quite comfortable. All right, here we go, coming up to the arch where we get our power up. And the first one is the draft band. Crank up the watts a bit as I have a little snooze going across the line. Not a good spot to be dropped just before the climb. Everyone pretty well ups the watts quite a bit to race up. Just snuggle into the back of the group here to get a good start on this rise. I think I'm still a little bit in snooze mode here, just still sitting at 2.8 watt a kilogram, where the group's up at the 4s. Here we go. I've caught on now. Bit slow today apparently. Hit the draft boost just to make sure I could stay in touch and up the watts appropriately to get back in. Go on, Casey, you can do it. Stay in touch. Here we go, found some watts now. It's always good to get near the front of the race as you get close to the top. Make the most of this little flatter section in the middle here to build up your speed before you hit this 2-3% area. You can get close to the front as you crest this little bit. You'll have no problem staying with the group. Whereas if you get caught behind a bit, the elastic stretches and it's quite a chase to get back on. Got the ghost power up going through that arch. I'm just going to use that. So my power up bay is empty, ready to be filled next time I go through an arch. If you don't use it and forget about it, then you're stuck with it. There's also a bin icon on your companion app where you can just put it in the bin instead of using it if you so desire, which could be good for things like anvils when you're going uphill. Only one to come back in. Heart rate didn't jump too much going up that climb, which is good. Only around the 160, so not too hard of a race for me so far, which is lovely. Still able to sit around the 2.2 watt a kilo mark. Now up to 3s a little bit. It's not just me, you can see lots of 2s, mid 2s going through the pack as we roll down the hill. There's no big watt riders really driving the pace in this race. Sort of no one wants to take charge. And all this respite coming down the hill is very good for recovery. The legs are good, and getting the heart rate down to 150 would be ideal. Almost unheard of in this race. I've raced this course 4 times previously. I think the first time was about 10th, and the second time was a small group. We got 3rd, then the third time was even smaller group, only about 7, and I got 2nd, 5th on the line. And the last time was the larger group. And Cadman Cycling was in that one, and that was a tough race. I think I got 8th or something across the line. And now this one. So yet to crack it for a win. Would love to. I'm going to keep trying. Yeah, got the full aero wheels with the Cervelo frame this time as well, the 808 wheels. This is pretty much a flat course. Little gradient going up there, and that main gradient going up past the start-finish line. Power-ups of choice, steamroller, because there's cobbles everywhere. Draft van and aero. Feathers probably number 4 for going up those hills as well. So going through this section, it says little -1%, and I identified this in my last race as if I've got the energy and the inclination, that might be a spot to go early to finish, just to catch people out, especially if you get an aero power up you can sprint off. So that's in the back of my mind in this race, and especially as it's going fairly comfortably and the heart rate's good, legs are feeling good, that's definitely an option on the table. I've got my aero. I'm going to keep that to the end, which is fantastic. Now I've just got to stay in touch with the group, stay attentive, see where that takes us. Someone's whizzing up the hill with their feather, so just keeping an eye on that. Going for a segment time maybe. Group's closing back. Just put a few watts down now and sneak up to the front of the group. And lo and behold, we got the fastest sprint time. A bit cheeky. Those people whizzing through are generally people who are going flat out to get back onto the group, and they just fly through the group because we're not actually going that fast. Heart rate got a little higher on that last hill, so time to take some recovery as we go down this hill again. Try and save up some, refresh some legs and some heart rate before we get to the finish line. You might be wondering what those numbers are in the top left corner. Normally I don't have them there and I take them down, but just been doing some frame rate checking to see how my video card's traveling. Started off with a 750 GTX and then got a 1050 Ti. And now I'm testing a 1060 3 gig card. So able to coast down this gradient fairly comfortably, hovering around the 2.5 watt a kilo mark, which is good. I'm trying not to be on the front, but because it's not very fast, I tend to just gravitate there. Not used to it. Used to hanging on to the coattails of everybody. So most of the group's still here. Looks like there's about 22, 23 still in front group. So there hasn't been much whittling and much loss, which usually you lose at least, you know, a third of the group over the 2 laps going up that main hill. So legs are still feeling pretty good, check. Heart rate still good, check. Pace is not on, check. Looking for an opportunity now to sprint for the win. Doesn't look like anyone's going long up here to try and catch a break. It's very long and definitely test you to go this far out. Still much the same pace as the first laps, around 40k an hour. Very tight group. No one really pushing it just yet. Just trying to stay right near the front just to catch any moves. 0.8k to go. Dead flat road. Someone's going off the front right now. Looks like he's going to go on with it, so I'm going to hit the hammer. Try and catch his draft, hit the arrow. Oh heck, he's slowing down. Let's keep going. We'll hit our -1%. Hitting our top speed. Starting to get a gap, got 25 meters on the people behind. Power's starting to come down on the graph. Legs are getting pretty heavy. Let's get up this 1% little gradient. And we've got to get to the finish. Got 2 seconds. What is happening? Time to level up. Are you kidding me? There's only 100 meters to go. I can't see who's behind me. Nearly there. Passed on the line in the last 10 meters. Goodness gracious. Seriously. That was the shock of my life. I could not believe that. And look, my average watt was 2.9 watt a kilogram. What is going on, Zwift? It's official, folks. I'm a sandbagger, apparently. Too strong time to level up. Well, I don't know about that. We'll have to do some checking and see what's really going on. There you go, my first green cone. I'm not sure if there was one over my head, but there's definitely one on the list, and I lost my power settings, and there you go. So it was a pretty easy race and had a lot of power to burn at the end, so decided to go long and obviously push some limits in Zwift and cracked it for a green cone. And they throttle back your power a little bit, so you're a real C apparently. And yes, got pipped again for the win on the Champs-Élysées. So one of these days we'll get it right. Obviously those long finishes aren't ideal, and you'll get penalised. So time to do an FTP test and we'll see where we really should be. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned.